Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and for some of you, good morning. My name is Alexander Konstantinov. I'm the Marketing Director, Chief Marketing Officer at the Unidata company. Thank you all for registering for our series of free webinars. And carrying out such events is our step forward in the fight against coronavirus. Today and in the following days, we'll tell you in detail about working with data in general, and about working with our platform, which is called Unidata in particular. I would like to say separately that in the face of difficult epidemiological situation, Unidata as a company wants not only to support its clients and partners, but also to share our vast and extensive knowledge in the field of data management to every specialist who, due to the current situation, are at home now. As far as it goes, we announce April as the month of webinars. This is the English track we all attend every Wednesday, same time. And today we're talking about MDM Basic. The schedule, as you all know, as is follows. Today is a basic. The next Wednesday, MDM Advanced lesson. On the 22nd of April, data governance. And the end of April, 29th of April, Unidata Community. The duration of today's webinar is about an hour and a half, plus minus. You can always ask your questions, and they will surely appear in the chat format in the right corner of the screen you all see. At the end of the webinar, we will answer them. And now, I, Alexander Konstantinov, say goodbye to you, and with great pleasure, I give the floor to Unidata leading architect, Roman Strakalovsky, for his lesson, for his first lesson in this track. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, hello guys, my name is Roman. Alexander, thank you for your speech. Yeah, it was really serious, but for my opinion, we should be in a good mood, with a good and pleasant this first webinar, which is about the MDM, its history, its current trends, and our experience in it. So during this webinar, I will go through the basic possibilities of our MDM product. We will have a small talk about the current platform architecture, MDM conceptual basics, and we will try to make some entity informational domain for some common entities like company, products, vendors, sellers, suppliers, and so on. So let me just briefly start from the presentation from our company history. We have a really big experience with the data software, like the integration software, the vendor software, and the software developers also. So for the last 5 years or more, we have developed our own MDM platform, which now is divided into separate products already. The separate products are the and the data management product, which we will discuss today, and the data governance product, which we will discuss in next webinars. And if you can see on this the slide in the center, it's our MDM core, the platform, which is currently is an open source platform. And here I also represent our community, Unidata community, that share and contribute to other people our code, our knowledge, and our vision of the industry of data management software. So about the current status of the MDM data management, Why we are talking about the open source? Because currently our vision is that MDM is not just a little screw in a IT data landscape in a really big companies, but it come into some small and medium businesses also, and we try to share the information, try to share the code, try to make the open source products so the small and medium business could allow to use the MDM, have expertise in MDM, and have a knowledge about how they can use it, how their company, how this such a products could find, could help the data flows in their companies, and like this. So little words about our community and open source. The platform is based in a Java world. The three main components are Elasticsearch, OpenJDK Java, Apache components, and we have a data storage as a PostgreSQL. Yeah, we have a really big connection with the worldwide analytics societies like Gartner, Forrester, Dama book, and etc. So let's move on to the MDM itself. So as all we know, the master data management is based on the golden record concept. The golden record is simple as this. Like you have some different data sources, some different kind of data storages, the teams, the people who work in different departments, but all of them are sharing the data, and all of them need some logic, some instruments, some tools to have the records that all of them can trust, can rely upon. So, however, the simplicity is not so. It's really sophisticated inside, because when you try to model your data domains, you try to put some data inside, you want to search upon it, you want to put the records, you want to put some rules on the records. It's all it's everything should be really transparent to the users. It should be manageable. I mean, you should get the history of your data. You should get the history of your data sources. You should get a history of the user actions, and etc. So to answer this, the questions I just mentioned about, we in our platform and all other platforms in the market, there is a lot of tools and possibilities to model, to import the models, to import the data, to put some validation rules, and to search upon the model. So let's go to the our platform and try to model our data first. So while it's loading, today we're gonna create the model with legal entities, which will represent the companies, like vendors, like suppliers, like some reselling companies. The products itself, it could be anything from the computers to the ice creams. It's not loading now. What about this one? Okay, we got some technical issues, so let's back to slide first, and I will just continue my speech while it's loading. yeah, the product itself, there are some lookups for the data, like the company's origin country, the addresses, the type of legal structure, the status of the companies, the products types, the products classifications, and etc. So yeah, of course, it's always when you need the server, it's knocked down. So anyway, let's get back. Let's get back to our slides, to our model. I don't know why the server is locked down, but so give me just 2 seconds. Yeah, so it's still locked down. So let me continue just on slides, and probably we will resolve these technical issues in a small period. So when we speak about the model, when we speak about our data flows inside our companies, so we have, let's pretend our companies sell the software, and this software have different types. The software have a different customer groups, and of course they have a different prices, and each seller have this have the price for its for the current period, and for the for the different products also. Yeah. So finally, we have done our technical issues. We just rebooted the server. So let's go to our model and give some practice upon it. Yeah. The first of all, when we try to model our data, we need to make the entities on it. So the first entity will be our legal entities. And when we start to model the legal entities, we need to put the name of the entity, like legal. Legal entity. Some descriptions, classifiers. If we want to put it into the group of entities, we can choose the group also. By the way, we have some advanced options for the entities, like we can put some analytics about the data inside this entity on a dashboard, could put some boundaries of actual time intervals, and some external ID generation. For example, when you load the data, you can generate the random ID, or you can put some IDs also. Oh, guys, sorry for some localization issues. The product is still development, so we are not really we get a bit lack of localization in some new in some new features. So about the entity itself, we could put numerous of attributes here. It could be the simple attribute, the complex attribute, and the array attribute. The simple attribute, like name of the company, the phone, the address, or etc. And the complex attribute, if you want to use your address, for example, as a bucket of the attributes, like the city, country, street name, the phone number, and etc. And the array attributes also when you want to put some array data to your attributes, like some synonyms, like some enumeration, or whatever. So let's back to our modeling, and let's give the name and the first attribute name to our legal entity. It will be company name. We can put some description also, and then when we try to model, of course, there is a number of properties for the attributes. The first one should be this unique for entire entity, or should be, or we can use many. It will be not unique through the all of the your entities. And the company name, we will put unique on it. So when it's unique, it should it's by default it's required. You cannot switch it not to required. The required attribute means that you should, when you import the data or when you put your data from the data operator interface, you should fill the value for this. Should we search upon this? Yes. And when we will search it, should we display this attribute value in the search? Yes. And the company name will be the first displayable attribute in the search in the search results. And of course, we should give we should give this attribute the type and the value type also. So for the company name, it will be string, and the value type will be string also. Yeah, so let's make the another attributes. The next attribute will be, for example, the full address. The full address. So should it be required? No. Should it be unique? No, because we have we could have really a lot of companies in the one building with same address. Should it be read only? No. Hidden? No. Searchable? Yes, because we will want to go. We want to search upon this attribute. Should it be displayable? No, because the full address would be really the length of it could be really large, and we can we will input some put some extra information into our search results. Yeah, and the attribute type is a simple, and the value is string also. Yes. The next attribute will be for example, the mail address. I mean the email. Or maybe let's make the complex attribute here. Let's put the mail and display Mail description, it should describe mail addresses. Mail addresses hidden no. Um, yep. So when we will and we'll put email, for example, into email complex email addresses. Email required yes, searchable yes, because no, searchable no, displayable no, and the attribute is still the simple type and it's string. Okay, and let's put another email like the physical email. Uh, uh, Physical email. I mean the postal email. Mail postal code, for example. Mail postal code. Required no, no. Simple type strings. No, it should be not the string. It should be, for example, the number. This is yep. Let's save it. So let's stop with the legal entity first, and then I would like to show you how we can how can we put into how we can use the lookup entities. So the main difference between entity and the lookup entity, the entities is something that you are working with. It's a data flow that is changes. The entity are changes. There is a numerous of records going on. You're uploading it and like this. And the lookup entities, it is something that it's really static, it's final, and it's never changes, like country names, month names, the weekdays, or whatever. So let's make the countries lookup. Country lookup, it will be the simple lookup. And let's make some the attributes in it, starting with the ID, the country ID. Should be unique, yes. Required, yes. Searchable, yes. And displayable, yep, also. And yes, the main displayable. And this should be the simple type and integer as the ID. Okay, let's save it. The code attribute. Yeah, let's put the code attributes here. Okay, no, switch it. Let's yeah, of course we should, because it's a lookup, we have the special kind of attribute. It's named the code attribute. So let's make the ID as a code attribute. So let's delete it and put the code attribute also here. Integer, yes. So the ID is the code attribute, and it should be main displayable also. Yeah, so the new attribute for the country, for example, the country should have the name. Let's place the name on it, the name of the attribute. To separate it, I prefer for the name of the attribute start from the truncated letter, and the display name should start with a capital letter also. And the name should be unique and should be searchable, of course, and displayable. and the main displayable should be null. Yes. Let's save it. And let's put the ISO alpha code for the country. It should be a string also. Yep. Yes, required, yes, searchable, yes, and displayable, yes, also. Should be a string. Yep. Okay. So when we're talking about the legal entities and its attributes, let's rename it to the address, not the mail, but the address complex attribute that will combine the all information about the address, the email, the postal code, and for example the country. And the country uh, and the country will be the lookup entity, and the link for the lookup will be upon the countries that we just created. I mean this lookup. So yes, let's save it, and and one of the latest latest entities we will make, it's will be the products, because we need to make some connections between legal entities and the products. We just made the connection between the legal entity and the country, and now we will create our products. It will be an entity. Let's name it. The product. The product. Yes, and also we want this entity to on our dashboard. Like for the other entities, we will just put some attributes on it. The first for the products, it's really the necessarily attribute. It is ID, because all the products are unique, and each when you refer to the product, you cannot just rely on its name, because each vendor could have some not non-unique product names, but the IDs of this should be unique. So it should be unique. It should be searchable, should be displayable also, and it should be the main displayable attribute also. So the next attribute, sorry, of course, I should put the type of the attribute. It's really required here. Let's save it. Let's give our product the name, the product name. Description should be unique. No. Should be required. The product name, yes. Should be searchable, of course, and displayable in the search result also. Yes, the product name should be the string. Should have the string type. Yes, let's save it. Let's make the next Next attribute. We have a really a lot of some attribute to describe our products, but one of the most one of the most significant attributes is a picture. Because when you see the picture, you don't need to read a lot of words, you just see the picture of it, and that's it. Should be unique. No, 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 no. And what is the type? And it should be some, let me see, the simple type. And it should be the file. About the some extra properties and displayable values, this I will show you this on the next webinar, which is called MDM Advanced, where we can describe, we can talk about the custom properties and why do we need it, and how we can use it to make some changes which with the display mode. So okay, we have this ID, the product name, and the picture. Let's save it. So let's make the relation between the legal entities and the products. And currently we are switching to our relation section. And the first relation will be to our products. Let's make relation from the products to the legal entities, so it could be better, because here on the legal entities in some advanced mode we will see how can we relate to the entity to itself to make some really to make some legal hierarchy. I mean, the headquarters, some local offices, some domestic offices, and etc. So let's switch to the product and let's add the relation. So the linked entity should be our legal entity. The relation name should be supplier. The display name should be supplier also, and relation type should be many to many. Why it is many to many? Because we can the different the one supplier could have a lot of have a lot of entities, and each product could have a lot of suppliers. And of course we should add the attribute for this relation. This for example, this attribute will be the price, and the name will be the price. Also for the attribute, should it be required? No, because you can from time to time. Let's switch to our presentation, and let's see, from time to time the price should change, and from time to time the warehouses could be empty for these products, and it could have no price for it. So it's not should be not required, or elsewhere you should put the 0 on it or something like this. Yeah, it should be simple type, and it should be the integer. Oh, we will get back to our presentation. So the price is a simple type, and it's an integer. But also we can use it in the currency. We can use the number. We can use the units in No. Yeah, the currency and, for example, the USA dollars. Yes. So let's save this relation, and yes. So this name is a supplier, and we should put the uh, another relation as a vendor. Uh, the relation type will be the reference. Why it is reference? Because the vendor is strictly connected to its products, so it cannot be changed. The one product with a certain ID and the vendor, this relation should be modeled as a reference uh, to make it uh, to make it concrete. Okay, so for this also for this the relation we can make some displayable attributes and some search attributes. So we can search for some products by its relation to some company names. For example, we want to see the products of the Microsoft, and we just put in our search criteria, which I will show you a bit later, the values, the searchable values for the attributes for this relation. So let's put some. No, we will not put the attribute to this relation. So let's save it. Also, for the suppliers, let's put the same bucket of the attributes for company name and for full addresses. Yep. Let's save it. So for now on, we made the legal entity, we made the products, we made the countries, and we made some relationship between products and the legal entities. So let's see. Let's publish our draft. Yes, everything inside Unidata is, if you want to change, make some changes into the meta model, you should switch into the draft mode here, make some changes, and then you should apply the changes. So currently we see our entities we just created and one lookup for the countries. So let's see how it is related to each other. Let's see some nested entities. Yes, the nested entities here is a complex attribute address. Unfortunately, I cannot change the name of it because I need to remove and recreate it. So this is the data administrator interface, and let's see how we can use it from the data operator interface. But before we go to this, we need to make the user and the role to access these entities we just created. So we have already some users here, but let's create a new one. It's not the external, it's active, it's not the admin. Let's name it like Jack Bauer. JB, the login. JB some password, Yes, let's save it. Yeah, should define the interfaces it could access. It's a web interface and SOAP interface. And let's make the role. We have the administrator role, the head of the unit, and the employee. But let's make our special role for the data operator. Yeah, that is the same password. Okay. Data operator, and the displayable name is data. Also, so let's give him the full access to our legal entities. In fact, you can also give the access for some certain amount of attributes, and the attributes you can creating, reading, updating, and delete for the attributes. You can give some the rights on it. Yeah, the special rights for the administration. It's not really interesting here, so let's save it and let's give the role to the Jack Bauer. Yes. Yes, let's save it. Let's close. Yes, here is our role. Yes, let's save it. So let's switch. To the data operator interface, and let's use this new user credentials to log in. Yeah, of course we should change the password. Yeah, just change it. Yes, of course we just, use our new password to log in. Yeah. So let's see what do we have here. Here we have a dashboard for the legal entity we just created, because we put the dashboard attribute here, so we have some analytics about the data, the total records, the records with errors, duplicates, updated, and etc. So let's see what can we do here. In our search area, we can select our entities to search upon, the products, the countries, even we can search in the lookups. But let's create our first company. It's empty yet, so let's create with attributes that we just created. So the company name, it's a required attribute. Let's call it some Microsoft. Its full address should be like here. And another address you can put email, Microsoft headquarters, Microsoft.com. I hope it exists. So the mail postcode, it should be in the number. It could be switched like this. And the country, we don't have the countries yet, so let's make it leave it empty. Yeah. So now we have one company. Let's make another company, Unidata. The full address is should be like this also. The sharing screen application is really annoying. Okay. The mail address should be like Roman. Mail postal code is for St. Petersburg. Yes. The country is yeah. Let's leave it. So it is about the datas. Let's put some products also here. Data, product, and the first product will be the Windows. Yeah, the ID should be 1. Windows picture. I will upload it a bit later. Here, we just make the relation for the vendor, and the vendor of the Windows is Microsoft. Yeah, and the supplier, for example, for the Microsoft is our Unidata company. So, and let's put the price on it. It should be how much for the Windows for $50. Okay. Yeah, the pictures of course we just make it required attributes. So let's load the file. Yeah, like this. Okay, it's some file. We can show it, we can upload it, and etc. Yeah, let's save it, and let's put another product with a second ID with the product name Unidata platform. Some files with it, with a picture, and vendor is Unidata, and the supplier is Unidata also, and the price is nothing. So okay. Yeah, so currently we have 2 products with IDs. Let me just remind you about what we have created in our data model. Yes, our data model. So why it looks like this? Because when we created our legal entity with our attributes, we put the company name as a main displayable attribute here, and within the products we made two displayable attributes: the ID, this should be searchable, and the main displayable, and the product name also is displayable, but it's not the main displayable. So currently it looks like this. Within the search area is like this. So how can we use this relation we just created? For example, we want to find the products which are with the product name, and with the product name is that should contain. Okay, we can combine query with or concatenation product name. Yes, we can also put some dates when it's created, when it's updated, what is operation type, all the actual time period intervals like this, because as I just show you, in my presentation, each product, each price, each product could have these effective periods, actual time periods, so you can put it here. Yeah. So let's search the products with not exact value, but it contains window. It should, yes, it should have the windows. And let's remove this, and let's try to search for the relation. Let's search by relation to the vendor. We have the vendor as Microsoft, and let's search for the all of the products that is, oh sorry, that is related to Microsoft. Yeah, to Microsoft. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, it's, we can find only the Windows here. Yeah, it's some basic about the data modeling and the user interface here. The next steps are, uh, oh, just forgot to switch on my screen. Okay, again, we just seen the basic screens, for the modeling and for the data operator interface, and let's see what could we have in advanced options for this. So let's get back to our data model and see some next steps. The next steps is a record display. For example, on your model you have really a lot of attributes, like more than 200. So here you can make the groups of the attributes. Yeah. Oh, sorry. When you want to change something, you should go to draft mode. You should put the group. Um, let's name the group, the main group, and let's put the attributes inside the group. It's a company name and the name address. Yes, let's save it. And for example, you can put another group here. Place it on the right for this group, and the secondary. So we can create the secondary group of the attributes and put the full address into this. So currently, when save it, when we publish our draft, the legal entity will be shown like this. No, it's not. Let's update the screen. Yes, you can see we just created the main group of attributes and some secondary group of attributes, and we put some for us for better display. So the next step is the model I just showed you already. Then the data quality. So the data quality is a tool where you can define some data quality rules for your data. It's really complex tool where you can define the chain of the rules that could enrich your data or could validate your data within the data quality conception. For example, for the company name, in our MDM platform, we want to make the rule that put the name with with the first capital letter. Yes, let's name the rule like first. Let's select the function. It should be the string. We have a lot of function, some functions within our package. And for example, we want to, where is it? Yes, to uppercase and to lowercase. Or where was it? Yeah, to title case. So the first letter is in the uppercase. The execution context is here. The rule type is enrichment. The selected input is our company name, and the execution result is also our company name. So it's a really simple rule. And when you define the rule, you should define which is data source should be the source system for the changes, for this such as changes. So we have this Unidata attributes here. Yes, so let's save the rule. Sorry, yes, we should use the master data as the main source. Yes, all data is saved. The draft is applied, and let's check how does it work. So let's create another company with a name of Unidata community. As you can see, all the words written with a small capital letter. It's not the title case. The full address is the same, and we will leave the address empty. And let's see how the rule is working. How the rule works. So yeah, as you can see, the company name within the title case. So yes, the next steps is data management, the products, the consolidation rules. When we talk about the MDM, of course, we mean that we have a lot of source data source systems that we can rely on. So we can put the data source here. Let's switch. Actually, I have already defined some. Let's see how many we have here. Yeah, we have DNB, ERP, supplier portal, and the Unidata data sources. And let's define in our model the data sources also. Yeah, for the products here. Yes, data sources and with attributes. When we have a lot of data comes from the data sources, we want to get the best version of truth, and we should rely on the data sources. So we can change the weight, the trust weight for the data sources. For example, we have the 100% rely on a DNB data source, and we have a 60% rely on our supplier portal. And of course, our system data source is Unidata is also, we can rely for 100%. Yeah, we can select for example, the product name, and the product name we can redefine its we can redefine it here, because as you can see, the DNB is 100% and the supplier portal is 60%. But for the product name, we trust for the supplier portal more than for the DNB data source. Yeah, and we will just save. Yes, so let's see how does it works here in Unidata. In the data operator interface, we have this products. We have these products. Yes, let me just check. Yeah, we have these two products. Let's export these products to the Excel, change it, and upload it from the different kind of data source. Yes, yes. Yeah. So two records are exported into Excel. Let's download the results. Yep. And let's see what do we have here. Let me switch to the Microsoft. Yeah, we have this a lot of some data, but as you can see, we have the address here, the weights, and everything. So let's change the name for the products. Let's change the Windows Professional and the Unidata platform to Unidata High Edition. Yes, we will save the origin keys. We will save the some IDs. Maybe it's really hard to understand, but I just exported data, made some changes, and now I will just upload it back. But full screen. Let me switch. Let me switch the application back to home. Yeah, and now I will. Upload it back into our model. I mean, they imported on behalf of supplier portal, for example, as a new data source. I will select the file, the latest. Yes, this one. Yes, we just upload it. Yeah, and currently you can see that because I didn't change the IDs of the file, so we just uploaded the new version of it with the data source name, the supplier portal, and you can see the name of the products are changed. So let's see the history of the changes. Record history. Oh, yeah. All periods. Yes. Yeah. And here you can see that the product name is changed already. Uh, yeah, it's because no. Let me upload it again because I didn't switch the right data source, because the data source is still Unidata, and it didn't change now. So let's yeah, let's choose the supplier portal as a different data source, make some preparation, select the file again, the products, and make some import again. Yeah, oh, it's still the same, but let's change. Let's change the time interval here. The reference record. Make the new interval from now on to the next 5 years, and save it. Yes, the record is same, all periods, and let's see the original record also here, the time intervals and the record history. Yeah, it's still the same. So, okay, let's move on to our dashboard. Currently, you can see that we have 3 records already, and have 3 new records for the legal entities, and for our products. We have 2 products with 0 errors, and etc. So that's it for the basic functionality for the modeling. Uh, yeah. So let's get back for our presentation, and I will just see. I will just see the question for you, and I'll try to answer. Okay. So, okay. The latest question from Thomas. It's the validation equals to admit, refuse the record enrichment, and modification of the record. Is that correct? Yeah. The main response is yes, but it depends of the rules. So the validation. Let me just switch back to the data model. So when you try to make some data rules here, you can use the the data rules here. Here you can make the validation. The validation it's some certain kind of the function, like mathematicals, or it's like logical. Is empty, for example, it's a validation, and validation could be also the enrichment. And when you make some validation rules, you can use the select the criticalness, some message input for the current user, and some other severity options. Okay, it's like this. So what was the question? Admit, refuse the record enrichment and modification. Yeah, and when for example, and when the company name or full address is empty, let's add the rule, data quality rule, validation. The function is string is empty. The logical is empty. We can select the input, the full address, execution result. No execution result. Yes, user criticalness low. And the category is yeah, we want to warn the user with a message, and we want to make some category for this. Okay, so where is okay, yes, the data source is Unidata. Okay, we just let's remove this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we just made this validation data quality, so let's check it. So no, we didn't. Yes, let's go to our legal entity. Let's make some new company named Nike, and the full address we will leave it. We will leave it empty. Let's. Let me read. Of course, we should apply the draft first before we apply the some our. Before we apply our results. New company named Adidas, and the full address is empty still. Let's save it. Yes, and let's see. And let's see on our dashboard how many rows we have with our products. Or maybe I will show it in some advanced mode because currently it's not really enough time for me for its work. Because yes, the full address execution the quick is critical. Save. Apply. Okay, so it should be like this. So, guys, I believe we have really a lot of some functionality in our modeling, in our all of the stuff. So please, if you have some other question, we have the channel in the Slack, we have the email. We can make some, and also we will make some advanced presentation that will be also based on your question here. So let me just finish my webinar. I hope you enjoy it. Sorry for some technical issues, for some localization issues, and maybe I didn't answer for some, and maybe I missed some question. But anyway, of course, you can write me down the question so far. So thank you. It was really nice to have a speech with you, and please be healthy, take care, and stay strong, and stay connected with our community. So bye.
See you. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next Wednesday.